Pages turn, the story unfolds, the ink on the paper, a world I behold. Lost in the panels where heroes fly, comic books and brews, my alibi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of Comics and Brews, where we tell the drunk history of a comic book character every single week. I'm your host, TazAlGhul, and with me, making his return to tell the drunk history once again, is my man, Seamus McGilliguffy.
Oh, hello, bitches. That's right. Hello, bitches. This week, we're crushing many beverages on this fine Saturday to tell you the drunkest of histories of Invincible. But before we gotta get to that, Mr. TazAlGhul here has to tell you about our beers of the episode.
Today we're at Voodoo Brewing because Brandon was just there about 69 minutes ago.
In the Springs. We went to the Springs location. I know there are other places. But look at it, it's creepy.
That is a really cool can. It's like a picnic bag with a fucking...
He has a pretzel face.
I already used a curse word.
Schnitz and Giggle. It's the Schnitz in Giggle.
It looks like the guy from the Goonies.
Mars and Log. It does look like sloth.
Except his fingers are all
pretzel.
he's
Look at his
all pink.
forked tongue.
He's got a pretzel. He's got a pretzel mask.
And look at his little German hat.
Wow, and he's got blonde bangs.
Anyway, it's a Mars, and in honor of October Feist, we're drinking, at least to start, the Marzen. It's a little pour.
I'm sorry.
I'm a pour while you.
Loki is already headbutting the door once again to get inside this episode, and I apologize if you heard that.
I'm also not allowed to put my beer near the microphone today.
Yeah, because if y'all heard Jar Jar Binks, all you heard was oh, I forgot we're on camera. We're not going to use this. But maybe we will for sometimes. But
anyway,
we have Marzen. This is what we're sipping.
Schnitz and Giggle.
So this is our first beer of the episode. For Seamus and I, we're going to drink multiple.
I mean, we've had beers before, but yeah, we have 3 on deck. One of them is gigantic. That's the biggest can I've ever.
It's like a Slim Jim of beers.
It says it's 568 milliliters of pure, unadulterated.
It's that much.
Thunder Lizard.
It literally is like very slim. That's what it's called, the Imperial. Oh, it's a 9.2 banger too. So, as we get into the drunk history of Invincible, this could get a little more saucy. But yeah, so we got into the beverages, into our bodies, and now let us get into Invincible, aka, or I guess Markus Sebastian Grayson, aka Invincible. Nolan Grayson.
Son of Nolan Grayson.
I am already apparently torched. Which is Omni-Man. And his mom is Deborah Grayson. And Mark's journey kicks off when he's just 7 years old. He's got the little tickle in his nutsack. And Nolan drops the bombshell that he's a Viltrumite. I mean, if I was 7 and I had no idea what the hell that meant, I'd be like, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm just trying to eat some carrots here. But supposedly, it's a peaceful race, the Viltrumites, of cosmic explorers.
Viltrumite.
Sorry.
Why do you keep saying Viltrumite?
I can't read, dude. Viltrumites, which is supposedly a peaceful race of cosmic explorers. And one day Mark is supposed to develop superpowers as well. If you've seen the show, that's like in episode 1. But this is the comic book. So, sure enough, Mark's powers show up while he's working his part-time job, setting the stage for the story to come, where he could, como se dice, murder people.
Well, yeah. I mean, he got his powers late, though, too, for Viltrumite. You do remember that.
I don't remember that. That's what you're here for.
Oh, that's why I'm here?
Nope.
Marcus got his powers late for Viltrumite. His old dad, Mr. Nolan, a.k.a. Omni-Man, didn't think he was going to get the powers and was kind of disappointed in Mark for quite a while. But anyway, Mark gets him as he's working his little job, flipping burgers or whatever. I think he's throwing out the trash.
Yeah. And then he threw the trash bag.
Yeah, he's like,
to the moon!
To the moon. So anyway, Marcus gets his powers. He starts fighting some crimes on his own. doing some little stuff. You know, like he did like the Spider-Man kind of thing where he's just an absolute plug of a superhero.
Yeah,
for, like,
he just didn't need
first
anything to
little
bite
while.
his asshole. He was just like, oh.
yeah, there's
oh,
no bites.
The trash went
Some
to the
people
sky.
like when people bite their ass.
Sometimes it's, I mean, never for me, but maybe. Have you ever had that?
Bit my ass?
Yeah.
No, I've never had somebody bite my ass.
Damn. Both,
Maybe we'll try
both ass virgins, I guess.
Let's not. God.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
We're just going off the rails already.
Sorry,
Jesus.
Stinker.
Anyway, Mark does cross paths with the teen team. Now this was after spoilers, but I'm guessing if you're listening to this, you probably already know some of this shit. But Omni-Man goes crazy, murders the living shit.
I went off the comic
out of
book
all
series,
the
so
superheroes.
this is a little different.
Oh no, Omni-Man just murders the shit out of a bunch. I'm talking about before. Omni-Man just murders the shit out of like all their main superheroes.
Yeah.
At the very beginning. Anyway, but then Mark crosses paths with the superheroes, the teen team. Just the lamest name for a team of all time. But it had Robot in there, Duplicate. It's actually kind of cool that she duplicates
They're
herself.
just trying to like
so often.
do Teen Titan shit. And then
Rexplode, who's an absolute just, I don't know, he's kind of
a
a twat.
They're actually kind of cool. And
Rexplode's kind of a twat. He's
Really?
he's an asshole. And then a lot of people's at least second favorite, Adam Eve.
To Invincible?
Absolute smoke show, right?
The
Adam Eve. I know that our boy, one of our boys who's listening.
Shout out Logan.
Logan.
He loves Adam Eve.
Some Adam Eve.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark goes to school with Eve as well, and it's good times. Good times are had. So early in the adventures, it's got them dealing with a twisted teacher who turns students into bombs and shit like that.
I don't know how.
At college.
I don't know how you have Oppenheimer in your school just teaching you how to make...
He was like, turn them into like, I forget what the fuck they're called now off the top of my head. But yeah, anyway, he does that. He flies a time bomb all the way to Antarctica, saves a shit ton of lives. Nice cold call, huh? Let's talk about a cold call.
Very cold call.
I think it was meant to be close call.
I probably typed that wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, things heat up when Invincible meets Alan the Alien, a space-bound warrior sent to assess Earth's superpowered defenders, which apparently now is just like, the Teen Titans, basically. But instead of fighting, Mark convinces Alan he's been visiting the wrong planet for decades, saving Earth from unnecessary destruction. Because apparently Alan the Alien wants to murder Earth.
I don't know if Alan wants to murder Earth.
Really?
He's just fighting them Viltrumites.
Oh, because they're full of them.
Yeah, he was designed to...
That's what we're getting to
he
here,
was
I guess.
genetically... Well, not genetically engineered, but he was genetically birthed to be able to fight and kill the Viltrumites. And every time he gets smoked, he's absolutely smoked.
So that's why
he comes back stronger.
That's
Alan
why
is a
he
badass.
gets deeper into the story later.
Yeah.
Because I haven't read these comics books, people. I've only read the history before this. And so Alan is kind of, he comes back very much more.
Alan is a goat.
Yeah. Oh, God, is this my turn?
Get in there.
Oh, sorry
Jesus,
about that.
God, no wonder people don't listen to this shit.
I know. Thank you to all 70 of you. But on the show, this is definitely what got me, this is what got me watching the show in general. Because it was fucking, damn it. Sorry, I try not to curse. But, he just straight up slaughters each and every one of them with his animated blood and guts. Oh, this is where Omni-Man is slaughters. Yeah.
Yeah. We already went over this, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Omni-Man, I guess I jumped ahead of you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Seamus is excited and full of energy. But yeah, so basically...
Booty cheeks are wiped.
Yeah, Omni-Man murders the shit out of everyone. What is the Guardians, right?
Yeah,
They're
Guardians
the Guardians
of the Globe.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Globe get smoked. And, but in the show, blood and guts are just going everywhere. And that's why I really love to watch. Did you read that comic book?
I have read many of them. I like to read them as I collect them. So I'm still trying to get a lot of the early ones.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of gore.
Yeah, so the original Guardians are gone, and a new team forms. Mark decides not to join them because he's way too high fashion for that shit. He's got other things on his plate, like dating Amber Bennett. And dealing with the resurrected heroes, like the Immortal, who tries to avenge his own death at Omni-Man's hands. So where Seamus jumped off the rails there, he was immediately got rock hard and said, Omni-Man murdered everyone. This is what we're talking about here. We're trying to slowly dive into that, but now this guy is the Immortal's trying to resurrect himself because Omni-Man fucked him up. And yikes, I said another F-bomb. But
the Immortal.
Yeah, and then the Mauler twins dug him up and resurrected him. Fuck, I feel like I had to say that so fast because Seamus was too excited. Holy shit, sorry.
I get excited.
Sorry. When you hear chops because of me editing that's because Seamus was rock hard.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. Anyway.
That's why this is the drunk history of Invincible.
I don't know. Who's going to listen to this now? They're going to be like, what the fuck?
I know.
All right, so some crazy shit goes on when Omni-Man reveals that the Viltrumites are actually a bunch of brutal warrior race guys and gals bent on conquering planets for their empire, the Viltrum Empire. In case you couldn't figure that part out, because they're Viltrumites. He was sent to Earth, among many other planets before, to pave the way for the invasion of Earth. And Invincible's now, obviously, horrified and pissed, and refuses to join his dickhead father's cause, which turns into just a most epic of duels. Lots of fighting. Mark gets absolutely pummeled by his padre.
Didn't they fight on the moon or something?
They kind of fought all over. No, I don't think they fought on the moon. That was Alan and him fought
each
around
other
the moon.
everywhere.
Just all. At least this is just all on Earth right now. Oh. And Omni-Man somehow he's got a bit of a conscience and is like, oh, I can kill everyone else.
It's his own son,
just not my son, Markus.
Yeah.
And so then he leaves Earth, very upset, and disappears
in tears
into the great beyond.
These eyes are crying, and I've seen a lot of love, but I never had love like you. It was a legendary battle, and after the dust settles, Mark is left to pick up the pieces of his foreskin. Just kidding, his soul. He's recruited by Cecil Stedman, the man in charge of Earth's defenses. He's the U.S. government, basically, and they rescued him after that battle. But, of course, the government swoops his ass right up, and he offers Mark support in exchange for his help, which you know what that means. He's basically lock and chained to the U.S. government. And Alan the alien returns with more bad news. The Viltrumites are planning to invade Earth. And is his dad making a comeback? Probably. I mean, he just Houdini'd after that battle. How are ya? But I would say he's coming back.
So, and then, after this shenanigan, because, we've already gone over the fact that Omni-Man murders the shit out of all the other Guardians of... Jesus. Not the Guardians of Jesus. What the fuck? Anyway, he murders all the other Guardians, so now, unfortunately, Mark gets abducted by some Atlanteans or some shit. I don't remember if he's abducted, but he ends up having...
That's why I forced him to do this?
I can't remember if he was abducted or if he went because the government's like, you gotta go.
Cecil made him?
I can't remember.
Oh,
I honestly can't remember. But anyway, so he's set to marry the Queen of Atlantis. And they're a bunch of, they're not, cool looking Atlanteans either. They're not smoke show mermaids or nothing. They're ugly fish-headed fucking things.
That's why he did this.
Yeah, so they're badasses, don't get me wrong. But anyway, so since his dad kills the previous king of Atlantis, now Mark has to marry the queen,
but he doesn't want to because of the fish
She was definitely, she was rough.
I got peas on my head, but don't call me a pea head.
Would you marry a fish
Absolutely not. Unless it's spicy tuna hand roll.
Yeah.
No
I mean,
chance.
luckily he dodges this shit. There's like a little battle, and then he gets like another Atlantean to marry her. So thank God.
He had to battle to do that?
Not the Atlantean. There's like some weird creature that he ended up getting a fight with.
Oh.
But anyway.
The meat creature.
So then he goes from this shit to having to deal with fucking Angstrom Levy.
That asshole. Yeah, I hate him.
Yeah, no, Angstrom's a fucking... He brings in, like, he's like multiverse of madness.
Yeah, he's basically
and
like...
he gets the fucking... Yeah, he ends up, like, getting his machine blown up, and that's where he gets his giant fucking head from. And yeah, he's just... He's a great guy.
I had to look him up because he comes up in this history way too much.
It's like his arch nemesis, man.
Yeah,
or one of them.
So he comes back. We'll talk about him later because of course Houdini, how are ya? But Mark's relationship with Eve evolves as they navigate the chaos around them. She eventually quits the superhero life to do some real good in Africa. Mama Africa. While Mark grapples with college life. I mean, if you've seen the show, college is going off the walls immediately. But identity crisis and the constant threat of annihilation from various villains. That's how college goes for Invincible. But college life, of course, is a wee bit different for him because his campus gets attacked. And who else is going to save the day than Invincible? But on top of that, he tries to get back with Amber by telling her that he's invincible. Yeah, that's a, como se dice, no.
And then from there, if it's not already spiraling enough, it continues to spiral to a series of battles. One against an alien disguise as his favorite comic book character, Science Dog.
And I think in the show it's called like Seance Dog or something.
I think it's Seance Dog.
Yeah, I watched the show yesterday. And
he's like
a
Doctor Strange dog.
Well, there is Doctor Strange has a dog too. What's his name?
But I'm saying like he's like if you look like Google his ass, like look at his picture. You'll be like, what the fuck?
What, Science Dog or Seance Dog?
I think it's Seance Dog in the comics.
What's Doctor Strange's dog?
No, but it's different. He looks like dog. He's like dressed up like in capes and shit.
Seance Dog.
Yeah, you gotta look that up. Anyway.
Oh shit, that's not even a dog.
Yeah, so anyway, Seance...
Oh yeah, it is. It is literally a Doctor Strange dog.
Yeah, he looks like Doctor Strange.
It's literally Doctor Strange's outfit, but a dog head.
But I'm pretty sure you're right. I think in the show they call him Science Dog. Maybe it's Seance Dog. I'm saying it weird. I don't know. Anyway, this alien, Seance Dog, asks him to help save his planet where he's from and finds... Oh, anyway. So he asks him to save his planet. It turns out he's like some weird, like... ant-looking alien, and he's like, "Hey, I know where your father's at. Come save this planet." So Mark gets there. He doesn't know his dad's there. He gets there, sees his dad, Omni-Man, and then he's fucking mad. But then Omni-Man introduces Mark to his half brother, who he had from a smashing and a banging in one of the local
smashing and bang. Let me spank it, girl.
He's just seeding planets like a fucking farmer. Can I say seeding planets like a fucking farmer?
You can say that any day of the week, baby.
So that's where we are.
Because when other Viltrumites attack the planet, Mark's father asks Mark to take his new family to caves for protection, which means obviously his half-brother. But they meet a Viltrumite inside. I cannot say Viltrumite. Mark and Nolan, if you didn't get that, was his half-brother, which I think he's like Omni-Man Jr. or some shit. Fight the Viltrumites, which is crazy because they are Viltrumites, but who've already killed the most of the population. We're going to pour another beer here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a pause.
Because apparently now Nolan,
yeah,
he's gained a soul. Now he gives a shit about his kid.
We're taking a pause here for
he's like,
Omni-Man Jr. or whatever the
Well, he's not old enough to be doing that yet. He's still a little baby.
He wanted to be called Omni-Man something, I think. It's I don't know. We're gonna get into that, but what are we drinking here? We're drinking another Voodoo banger. It is the Voodoo Key Lime Kolsch. How are ya?
Cool little can.
Obviously, my boy Seamus got this from Colorado Springs because we told you that earlier, but I can't read off the chrome.
Well, they're actually from Pennsylvania. I think it's Meadville. Meadville,
Mead?
Pennsylvania. Mead.
Oh, Meatville would have been so much cooler.
No, not Meadville.
Dang. Well,
Anyway,
if anyone knows of a Meatville, that'd be cool.
If you voodoo brewing guys are listening, hats off to you. Your beers are tits supreme.
Absolutely tit supreme. But anyways, Mark and Nolan fight the Viltrumites, who have already killed most of the population, and Nolan is captured by the Viltrumites, sparing the planet. The Viltrumites put Mark in charge of readying Earth for invasion. Yeah, Invincible, readying Earth for invasion. But his brother tells Mark to read his novels, and after Mark helps prepare the planet's cities, he returns to Earth with his half-brother. Mark's, oh my god, only to be reprimanded by Cecil, that dickhead. Cecil. Hey, isn't that like Mr. Deeds? Isn't that guy who likes the feet? Isn't that? Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not.
For leaving Earth, as there was a crisis during his absence. I think Cecil
was the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who really liked Wendy's. I think it was Wendy's. I don't fucking remember. Anyway.
I think you're right.
Mark's mother becomes, at first she's like,
I love you, you're my son.
No, she's not happy that Mark brings this creepy little, I won't say crappy.
Is he creepy?
No, he's purple. He's not a normal human baby color, but he doesn't look like an ant person. But anyway, well, because
he's alien looking.
Yeah, but the ant people die like really fast. It's just
he's got to be like a teenager by the time he gets there, right?
No, man.
No,
he's like a little young baby still. They age like way faster than humans apparently. The ant people, but not that fast. But anyway, Mark's mom, and then the Viltrumites are practically like they live forever. But anyway, Mark's mom eventually becomes attached to the new half-brother and agrees to raise him, because what's Mark going to do? Is Mark going to raise a baby? Probably not. Anyway, after this, one of the most intense moments happens in Mark's journey when Angstrom Levy, twisted and deformed after his failed experiment, now he's got his big old brain, returns for revenge.
Big brains, not his nutsack.
When Mark receives a phone call warning that his mother's life is in danger, he flies home, sees his mama, who's been beaten next to Mr. Levy.
I hate
Levy then pulls Mark, and the baby. We can't forget about sweet baby, little baby. Baby Omni-Man. Levy then pulls Mark through different dimensions, like a couple, causing untold chaos before Mark finally ends him in a brutal battle by crushing him to his death. And then he's eventually rescued by a group of guardians from 15 years in the future. How are ya?
And anyone's mad about the multiverse, they can suck a fart, because how are you? We got another one. Because Sweetberry Wine, how do you solve a story without a multiverse? But then the future Eve tells him that she loves him. And says to tell his Eve, yeah, you know how it's going with his Eve. Basically how he's moving, so they can all move the fuck on.
The one he ended up in is like some dystopian future though. Like, aren't they all?
That could be pretty.
I don't remember. Maybe.
Either way, Invincible totally ruins that shit when he tells Eves what his future self told him, and he basically tells her like, "Oh no, I'm not feeling that ass," and ruins that. I mean, he's feeling Eve. He's feeling Eve, and he tells her, "No," because he's a little bitch. But this obviously caused her to storm right off. What a dickhead! And Mark's tailor, I don't know how this comes in here, but Mark's tailor, I'm assuming for his suit, informs him that Nolan, his brother, had written a science fiction book earlier in his career. That's his brother, right? Nolan's his brother.
No, Nolan is the dad. The brother
shit on my tits.
Oliver.
That is his dad. Omni-Man. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, a bunch of science fiction books in his career earlier, I tell you. And these books have information on how to beat the Viltrumites, because no shit, Omni-Man, of course, would tuck those right up his hoop. What a great tailor.
What a great tailor. I want one of them.
What a great tailor. What a great tailor.
Better than Taylor Swift. Put it on my hoop. Logan's going to disagree, though. I don't know. With Logan, do you think Logan prefers Taylor Swift? Or The man who made Adam Eve. Oh, I guess she makes her own outfit. She's just like conjures it out of dust. Good tailor, Logan.
I've never had a good tailor.
Anyway.
I know what that means.
Wow, we're getting fucking rails are just blown. Later, a female Viltrumite shows up, wanting to know how far he's come in preparing the Earth for invasion.
Oh.
She tries to show him how Earth may benefit from being part of Viltrumite Empire, and it helps Mark by saving people on a sinking ship. She's like, "Yo, bitch, are you ready to work for us Viltrumites?" And he's like,
"Nah, motherfucker!
Nah, you hooker." I don't think he actually said that.
He did.
He's like, "Kick some rocks," and she's like, "You know what? Our replacement's gonna come to take Earth over soon, you motherfucker." So then Mark starts preparing for invasions. It goes to Africa. Look at you, all right? Looking for Eve. Even after he had just been like, "Bitch, go to Africa. Stay out of my life.
Get out of here, bitch."
Mark's making lots of mistakes in his romantical life decisions.
Yeah, Mark really is not figuring out, and that's why I really
He is
hope
not Rico Suave.
if they do a live action of this, I really hope it's the Asian dude from Walking Dead, because he would
He's
be
already the guy who
perfect.
plays him.
Oh, here it is, the voice one. I
Yeah.
just hope he does the live action too, because that'd be
I'm forgetting
sick.
his name. I
know.
loved him in The Walking
He's
Dead.
awesome.
Dude,
He
he
would be
is
sick.
just
But
great.
obviously, he makes
Why am I
mistakes,
forgetting
and
his name?
spoiler alert, he gets a hammer of a bat to his skull, which would probably happen here. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to some romance, because it gets deeper with Adam Eve. After Mark duels with the he discovers that Cecil, if you didn't remember this, the director of Global Defense Agency, has placed something in him to upset his equilibrium. So basically, he's trying to fight, and he's basically fuckled. And after getting a robot to block the frequency, Mark destroys almost all of the... this is so hard. Reaniman. And then Cecil Fielder fires him. And Mark says to stay away from his family. "Get out of here, Cecil! Suck my ass!" And he goes home, tells the story to his mama and his brother and Eve. And even Mark going to the backyard. "How are ya?" And he tells her that when he thought he was going to die, all he could think about was her and them sweet, sweet jammers. Hey-oh!
Fireworks. Stephen Yoon, by the way.
Oh, not Shen
That's the guy.
Stephen Yoon.
I think it's Stephen Yoon.
Oh, Shen Yoon.
Am I right? Stephen Yoon!
Esteban Yoon.
Yoon. Great actor. Love the guy.
So good.
I mean, everything I've ever watched with him I enjoyed. So
There's nothing I've not liked from him. He's incredible.
Anyway, Invincible Markus
Mark.
is now a free agent stepping up to the plate. He's getting a sign as a big old free agent contract, having his lips freshly soaked by Adam Eve.
Ow!
Tells little man Oliver, little sweet baby Oliver, that he needs to start training to use his powers, because they're gonna have to take on some Viltrumites. And anyway, so they get some sick new costumes, and Oliver the whole time is like, "Hey, I want to be called Kid Omni-Man." Super fucking original.
Yeah,
But
really
you know
neat.
what? It just
Not
just is
Omni-Man
what
the
it is.
second,
No,
just
it's
Kid Omni-Man.
Kid Omni-Man.
Kid Flash. Kid.
So they go on to fight a couple supervillains. Oliver makes some rookie mistakes. But Mark's like, he's being a good old teacher. He's like, "That's all right, kid. We're going to get him on the next one." So anyway, back home, he hangs out with Eve. They're fucking locking some lips again. And they're getting watched by a creepy floating camera, which is sent by the presumed and also creepy, presumed to be dead, Angstrom Levy. But, he's the dimensional travel guy whose ass has been whooped. So, of course, he's not dead, because what kind of comic book story would end in Angstrom Levy being deceased like 30 books in?
They never die. Never.
No, you can't.
Never. Yeah, so of course, he's going to be sneaking up that asshole. But the Mahler twins, I don't know where they came from, but I wrote it in my script. They appear and have taken out the Guardians of the Globe. Again, another Guardians of the Globe. How are ya? Round 2. They become frustrated while fighting Invincible and launch a nuclear missile.
You can say nuclear missile.
Yeah, that was tough. Oliver arrives and Mark takes off after the missile while he's in space. Of course, Invincible's gonna...
Dropping bows.
Yeah, Oliver kills the twins. Not too shabby, of course. They're a couple of dinguses. And Mark and Oliver argue about the right to kill, with Invincible trying to convince Oliver, a.k.a. little junior Omni-Man, little bitch, that the human life is precious. Yes, Bruce Wayne would be livid, because he don't kill. If y'all know Batman, he ain't ever taken a life. But Mark tells Oliver he is too much like their dad. Yeah, because Omni-Man wants to... But yeah, then Oliver asks Invincible if he has ever felt like their dad, and he's like, yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta kill some bitches.
I mean, I think you are correct, sir.
You know, you got a guy like Angstrom who just keeps blowing shit up. Keep fucking shit
Especially
up.
that guy. He sucks out.
You got to kill him, but it's like, oh, is my soul now corrupted?
Oh, am I going to hell?
But anyway, at this point, Monsieur Invincible is definitely getting that tangle for killings in his beanbag. Beanbag.
Oh!
and realizing that sometimes it's necessary.
Oh,
You shouldn't put beanbag in there.
I'm sorry.
And yes, Batman would still be livid. That being said, Invincible's a wee bit shook.
Oh.
And the fact that Oliver's a stone cold killer and leaves his date with Eve early. You all right there?
Yeah.
Which one did I get?
You got both my balls. Ow. Oh. I'm okay. I'm okay.
You
Oh.
don't sound okay. Anyway, leaves a date with Eve early to argue with his brother. Then he fights a huge dragon. And long story short, forgiveness. Forgiveness occurs.
Forgiveness, more than saying sorry.
Forgiveness.
Yeah, I forgive you. Where were you even reading? I forgot if you railed my nutsack.
What a shocker. But after the battle, he sees Eve, goes home to talk to her, and dun dun dun, what's gonna happen? You got it right. They finally do the Mr. Deed. And touch, what do you got? You touch pissers is what he's got
They
written.
slam pissers if I get it right, baby. They smash it and bang. How you spanking, girl? Smash it and bang.
That is touch pissers?
Yeah,
You couldn't think of a better...
What's better than touching pissers?
I can think of 1,000
Absolutely nothing.
Smash bang fusions?
No, let me smang it. I mean, touching pisser is pretty good. But, yeah, he wasn't too shaken up with, how he's literally smashed and bang. We'll get back to that if he planted this seed, or did he not? Because he had another argument with Omni-Man Jr. or whatever the his name was. But, yeah, because he was ready to smang. But anyways, jumping forward a wee bit, Angstrom Levy finally makes his move. How? Of course, he's an annoying piece of shit. Flashbacks show that Mark had not actually killed Angstrom, who had just enough energy to make, shocker, one last portal, Taz, to a dimension where a group of aliens heal him of his wounds. And after he recovers, he travels to another dimension and gathers over a dozen evil versions of Invincible.
One of them was a cannibal.
One of the evil versions?
Yeah, he eats people.
I
don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Yeah, he eats people.
Like horns?
No, like just straight up like, fuck. He kills them and then eats them.
That's pretty cool.
Like everyone. Straight cannibal.
If I was reading the comics, watching this like in my face while turning the pages, and I just had Invincible eating humans, like, that's top notch.
Taking a brief...
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
What is this?
ice cream.
Oh, what is this? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Thunder Lizard, brought to you by Voodoo Brewing.
It's a big one, dude. It's like it's huge, but it's also 9.2%.
That's what she said.
Touching. I could probably fill your
Touching
whole
you,
glass with this.
reaching out, touching
It's killing me.
me.
Hey now.
Ooh, Thunder Lizard. Oh.
Now, the evil Invincibles launch a massive assault on the old Earth-ski doodle with the intent of not just causing damage, but also ruining Invincible's reputation, because now there's just like dozens of him.
Yeah, they ain't having
They're
that.
wearing different suits and shit, and they're eating people. I don't know if people believe
They
it.
couldn't
Mark's
tell the
eating people.
difference, though, I bet. They're like, oh, it's Invincible!
Probably not.
He's gonna kill me! He's gonna eat my cock!
Many major cities are destroyed.
Do you hear her?
No, yeah, your dog.
I gotta
is-
locate.
No, she's fine. She's fine.
Okay.
She's fine.
Okay. She's.
So the major cities getting destroyed. Rexplode, who we've already talked about being just an absolute cock earlier.
Yeah.
He does a righteous deed. He dies when he explodes his own skeleton in order to defeat an evil Invincible. What a guy! What a guy!
I mean,
he gives it. You gotta give it to him. He gives it up. Anyway, surviving evil Invincibles revolt against Angstrom, shockingly enough, who then uses his power to strand them all in another dimension. Real Mad Mark, enraged Marquise, the real Invincible, is ready to kill Angstrom, but Angstrom escapes
no shit.
and loses his arm. Then he goes back to those dickheads who healed him in the first place. But then, however, due to his failures, they say,
You work for me, bitch!
yeah, they're like, you work for us, man. You suck at what you're doing. You got a big old brain, but you suck. So now, you work for us.
Angstrom seems like he's the most annoying character ever. Because, yes, he is. He's a time-traveling son of a bitch.
He's just a dick.
Yeah, he's a gnat on your ball sack. He's the gnat on your nipples. And he's awful. And so Invincible has more battles against the Viltrumites and dealt with cosmic threats and even himself. As we just said, evil versions of himself, which is pretty sick. That makes me want to read these comics so much more. He's got demon versions. I mean, they did this in DC Comics. Batman has all these crazy versions in the multiverse of himself. And this is exactly what's happening with Invincible. It's so cool, but also brutal. They're a bunch of dickhead versions. They're not actually Bruce Wayne. They're not actually invincible. They're just cannibals and shit. It's awesome. But he also faces Conquest, a Viltrumite warlord, in a fight so savage that Invincible is left questioning everything he stands for. Everything surviving the battle by the skin of his nutsack and recovering for 2 whole months after he almost dies. And then he realizes, like, holy shit, I might have to actually murder some bitches just to make her survive. I think that's Batman's entire battle the whole time. Batman never kills. It's like Gotham City is this big. I mean, you can't see my hands right now because we don't record. But what the shit? Invincible's fighting for the whole world, and he's like, oh my god, I might have to kill people for my friends. But dude, you're fighting for the whole world. Come on!
As the Viltrumite War rages on, Mark's father, the Omni-Man, makes his triumphant return. Hiya! And so they decide to fight side by side to save the universe from the Viltrumite Empire.
Oh.
But in a shocking twist, the Viltrumites decide to hide on Earth instead of continuing the war, setting up shop among humanity to rebuild their numbers, but realizing that direct conflict with Omni-Man and Invincible would be not so muy bueno.
Muy opposite of bueno. Not so good. The Viltrumites, realizing that a direct conflict, would absolutely smoke their race and all their people, bargain a truce with Invincible and Omni-Man, because they're knock-knock who's they're related. Instead of fighting, they'll hide on Earth as neutral observers, holding off any attempt at conquest and restoration of their empire for at least 1,000 years. And during this time, this is nuts to me, they will breed with humans and raise the human Viltrumite hybrids in secret. I feel like this is what people think is going on in real life right now. Aliens are just abducting them and smanging them. But how are you? I don't know if you believe that. Let me know. Straight half, yeah, like exactly what I said. Half aliens, half Viltrumites, half humans. But despite the danger it possesses, Invincible and Omni-Man realize this plan is the safest for Earth. I mean, I don't know if that's the safest because now we got a bunch of hybrids who are going to be a bunch of Spider-Mans, Venoms, and Wolverines. But whatever, eat a horn.
Well, at one point, I forget if it was before this part or after this part, but Mark gets sexually McSalted.
Oh yeah, you tell me that.
By a lady named Anissa.
Do you think this is before or after his Aquaman wedding? Or
Oh, that was way after that.
After?
Yeah, it was him and
before the war.
Him and the Eves geese were together at the time.
And then he got ruined.
She just was like, "You're putting your seed in me." Yeah, and she ended up having a baby eventually. Anissa. We're not gonna get too deep into.
But do we know
the Anissas.
What happens with this baby?
Yeah, I mean, you go down in there eventually.
What does he become though? Is he not like
He's not bad.
He's not like an Invincible the Second.
I mean, he's got powers, but
Who is
Mark
he?
has a couple kids.
What?
You're jumping. What do you mean? What?
I don't talk about his kids.
You don't talk about Mark's kids in here?
No.
Oh. Well, he does eventually have kids.
What are their names?
Several kids. God, I can't remember.
I don't talk about his kids. I talk about him in here.
Here, I'll tell you in just a minute. Anyway, I'll tell you in a minute.
I talk
Hold
about
on.
his dead kids. That's for sure. It's coming up
Jesus.
here in a second. Yikes.
Anyway, peace in the land. After we talk about getting sexually McSalted, and then we go to peace in the land. And we're not making fun of sex assault, by the way. It's
absolutely not
terrible, but crazy in a comic book for sure.
Yeah, holy shit.
That one's like one of the more expensive books in the series.
And they wrote it a long time ago, which makes this even more crazy.
Anyway,
yikes.
Peace in thy land. This takes us to post-war, where Mark faces new challenges. Eve moves into his house with him, and he returns to his invincible mantle just to punch him right up the gut. After all this, Eve reveals she had an abortion while he was fighting off-world. Well, they just move right on past it, though.
Yeah, basically nothing happens. Oh, yeah, okay, it's on my baby, but it's gone. What the shit? Are you kidding me? Mr. Invincible Jr. just knock, who's there? Nobody. But Invincible had doubts about his missions. Wait, is this his children? Children?
We'll talk to him about him after you do your part.
Okay, I think I did my part.
Oh, anyway, so Taz, forgetting the children. So anyway, we'll just, real quick. So, he ends up having 2 children eventually. Tara Grayson, which is the daughter of Mark and Adam, Eve.
Tara Grayson.
Which you said you don't know.
Nice.
So she later, spoiler, she later becomes the 3rd Invincible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like, way down the road. Like, when you read the comic, she does.
Tara.
And then Markus Murphy, also known as just Marky, is the son of Mark and Anissa, who was his rapist.
Oh.
And he later becomes Kid Invincible.
Oh.
Anyway. Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Okay, so
but
that was...
my mind was blown.
Sorry, anytime I do these things, I give you, like, weird shit that Taz either forgets or doesn't know, and then we just go off the rails.
I usually don't know.
It was like Jar Jar.
That was awesome.
Anyway, Mark later sees...
Jar Jar.
And spoilers. Mark later sees the government's doing by using using the glassed Vegas as a source of solar energy. He realizes that Dinosaurus, who's awesome by the way,
sounds awesome,
was right about his Las Vegas plan. With this, Mark visits Eve and asks her to trust him and love him no matter what. Invincible frees Dinosaurus in hopes of becoming partners and of helping the world for greater good. And in doing so, Mark is tagged by Cecil as an enemy of the state.
Dickhead Cecil.
Fucking Cecil.
Yeah, your boy's a terrorist. Cecil Fielder over there is just a big old bunghole. But while Alan and Kid Omni-Man are en route to Earth to deliver the Scourge virus into Earth's atmosphere, Dinosaurus, my boy, and Invincible lead coordinated plans to help fix the world. Can they do it? I don't know. We'll see. During a brief argument with Eve about his new methods, Mark is informed by Cecil of Alan, the aliens, and the aliens return. Oliver and Alan reveal their plan to Invincible, who is pissed off that they don't care about killing people. I'm pretty sure Invincible has accidentally murdered people, but how are you? He disavows their plan and attacks them. He's pissed. They want to kill people. Oh, I'm so good. I'm so whatever. But during the scuffle, Regent Thrag enters the scene. Whoever the hell Regent Thrag is, that's another character we could do.
Thrag is a goat.
Dude, who is he?
He's a badass Viltrumite.
He's
like the leader. He's the AKA why he's called Regent Thrag. He's the leader of the Viltrumites.
But isn't Omni-Man a Viltrumite?
They're all Viltrumites, but
Regent Thrag is a big
Thrag
badass?
Is like the regent. He's like the leader of the Viltrumites.
Awesome, but
even though Mark and Omni-Man are apparently they're descendants of like royalty.
So Thrag is even a more badass bitch.
Thrag's pretty badass.
So awesome, but vowing to help Invincible against his assailants, a standoff is reached against the Guardians of the Globe, and leading over Oliver to take the Scourge virus to Earth and release it. So they're basically going to say, suck it, Earth.
Drop in that COVID bomb.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually nice.
It is.
When Mark tries to stop him, the virus is released on Mark, point blank, straight up, just psh.
Knock, who's there?
Virus on Mark. Infected. He's taken to Thrag's ship on the moon to be treated. Then it's revealed by Thrag scientists that Mark and Nolan are part of the original bloodline.
So Omni-Man and Invincible are the main
clearly,
two.
Well, they're part of the bloodline. So clearly, if Mark is part of that bloodline, then it would make sense that Omni-Man is.
Yeah.
So this is when Thrag, knowing he can't have a traitor, at least in his mind, a traitor
He wants to
taking
kill
over his fucking role, because this would basically Mark and Nolan would be put ahead of him now because they're royalty. Thrag's like, these. I'm gonna kill Mark. I'm gonna kill me some Invincible. So. At this point, Dinosaurus steps up and fights him. But he almost gets killed. He does use some explosives and gets Invincible out there and into his secret Earth base. Dinosaurs. I got a sick cover of Dinosaurus, by the way. But anyway, that's a different story. I'll show you. I'm gonna Google it while you talk.
That is literally the end of the story I have for Invincible. I don't even know
we're gonna have to have part 2 because
it's still going, right?
No, the books are done. We're gonna have to have part 2. This is just part 1.
Okay.
Of the Mark Grayson Invincible story, and clearly we missed a shit ton.
This is just to be under an hour for you guys because I think we're at 50 minutes now, and I had to go fast. No one listens now.
Yeah, shit ton. Anyway, this is part 1. We're gonna go part 2, and not immediately. This might be a few weeks.
Yeah, it'll probably be months, but there's thousands of comic books of Invincible, and isn't there? There's thousands.
There's so not many. Thousands.
It feels like it. There's hundreds.
There's a couple hundred.
It's insane. And I've read 4 of them. I just tried to get a little decipher of who he was for this one, and
144.
Holy shit!
I think we made it maybe halfway through.
And the comic is done, is what you're saying. The comic is over?
They're the main story. They're done with.
Okay.
They're done with the main story unless they continue. It ended.
I'm sure they will continue it because it's getting crazy now. But Yeah, holy shit. I mean, we'll be back for part 2 because Seamus knows more than I do.
Yeah, you didn't even know about the kids. This is why, because you
exactly.
You stopped it halfway through his story.
Yeah, I don't know shit about the tail end here. There's a lot more.
Oh, a lot more.
Yeah, Seamus McGilliguffy will be back. He's done Jar Jar Binks. Now he's done Invincible. Now he's gonna be back for Invincible's kids.
Oh wait, you gotta remember. You gotta do your Q&A thing, your new thing.
Oh, I forgot about it already. I'm drunk.
Yeah. So if you guys, those of you out there, the man feels like he needs some more comments in his comments section. But for those of you, if you have questions about anything related to Comics and Brews, or TazAlGhul, or the Abigails, or apparently Seamus McGilliguffy.
Seamus McGilliguffy.
Drop it in the comments, and we, or he, or who the ever,
some child,
is going to answer it on the next show. We're going to answer, one a show you're going to answer?
I'll answer everything.
He's going to answer
absolutely everything.
Everything, every show. The Q&A section at the very end.
Always.
He'll gather the questions, make some answers at the end of the show. Is the sweet sultry voice of jazz.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Comics and Brews, and that was the drunk history of Invincible. If you would like to...
Part 1.
Yeah, part 1, I guess. But anyways, if you subscribe to the channel, as I always say, I will send you a free sticker pack of all my stickers. Just DM me on Instagram at comics_brews, and I will shoot you a freebie. I just got keychains in too, so you want a keychain? I'll send you some keychains.
Holy
yes,
shit.
sir. Yes, ma'am. And I'll send you some freebies. And if you aren't out in the U.S., just let me know. Let me know you subscribed. But anyways, we're coming back with episode 2 of Invincible one day. I think episode 12 might just be a Pokemon one. Could be Brock, could be Ash, could be Misty. I'm honestly not sure, but we will see. Follow us on Instagram at comics_brews. And the same thing for Twitter, Facebook, and all that other bullshit. But we are drunk, and we are telling the history. This is... Seamus McGilliguffy.
Oh, yep.
And TazAlGhul. We got cheers. I forgot we got cheers.
Wait.
The story unfolds, the ink on the paper, a world I behold. Lost in the panels where heroes fly, comic books and brews, my alibi.